What is happening, guys? It's January 6, 2016, and I'm bringing you this arm-only day from yesterday. This was an arm-only workout just because I've kind of been playing with my split a little bit. I wouldn't recommend you guys do an arm-only day. It's not necessary. It's not really beneficial, but I want to show you the movements I did on this day so that you could use them in the days of your workout split where you hit arms, if you haven't used them before, and try to hit your arms in a different way, because these are movements that I've really been loving lately. And the first one is a preacher curl. The reason I love it is just because of the sheer concentration you can get on your bicep. For a while, guys, throughout my bulk, I was doing a lot of barbell movements, heavier dumbbell movements for my biceps, and yeah, my arms grew a lot, right? But the main thing that grew on my arms was the triceps, and I kind of noticed that recently my biceps are not necessarily a strong part at all. It's more so my triceps and my delts that give the illusion that I have big arms, and that's really what bodybuilding and physique is all about. It's all about illusion. So if you have a smaller frame and rounder muscle bellies and longer insertions, you're going to look a lot bigger than you really are at lower body weights. So the next movement that I attribute a lot of my arm growth to is this overhead one-arm dumbbell extension. I apologize for the angle here, but it really is a solid movement. I suggest you guys try out. A lot of people say they can't feel it too well. You might need to lighten the weight. I start out now with 35-pound dumbbells, and that's like the heaviest I can see myself going for the next year. I can't see myself ever really doing that movement over 50-pound dumbbells at the max, and I would go down to 15s if I were you guys, and make sure you feel that good squeeze in that movement and focus on a good amount of reps for volume. Now, this is just the same as the preacher curl we did before, except we're doing it hammer style. And what this is going to do, it's going to focus a little bit more on the forearm, but also a little bit more on the long head of the bicep instead of the short head peak. And what that's just going to give you guys is more thickness to the bicep, and it's hitting it from a different angle. So from a bodybuilding standpoint, it's very beneficial. From a powerlifting standpoint or something else, it's probably not needed. But remember, we're working small muscle groups right now, and we're sort of focusing on each head of the small muscle group. So it's very specific type training, and that's sort of how I like to hit my arms personally. I can't say that that's been the #1 indicator of what's caused my growth. Genetics do play a big role in arm development, but I do like to train my arms a certain way, and I recently noticed that concentrating can definitely be a lot more beneficial sometimes than just swinging a big weight, even though there's a time and place for both. So this barbell curl here, you've seen me do barbell curls in the past with heavier weight and a little bit more cheating. This is a super slow set, as you see. I'm kind of holding at the top a little bit, and each rep is almost like a single. It's almost like, you know, one deadlift at a time when you reset after each deadlift. And let me tell you guys, it really is taxing on your biceps when you do it like this, just because of the amount of time under tension that you have and just the amount of concentration and lack of body English you're giving it. Of course, towards the end, you're going to be able to cheat a little bit to get those last few reps out. But really, I would highly recommend trying your barbell curls a tad more concentrated if you haven't done that. So this next movement is probably the movement that I would attribute, I want to say, 80% of my arm growth to over this bulk, guys. Just being completely honest, the skull crusher, whether it's with an easy bar like this, the easy bar, if you guys don't know what that is the one that's shaped curved, or if it's with a barbell, this movement blew up the long head of my triceps. Now, the long head of my triceps probably grows a little bit easier than that lateral head that makes the horseshoe, but personally, I've never seen my triceps grow from anything more than skull crushers. Now, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about elbow problems. I've been fortunate enough to not experience any, but if you guys have elbow problems, you should try overhead movements more so on cables in the light dumbbell version I showed you earlier in the video in the previous clip. Because if you hit the long head of your biceps, guys, you're definitely going to see more overall arm thickness, because that's probably the biggest head. Yeah, it is the biggest head of all your triceps, and your triceps are 3 muscles and your biceps is really only 2 heads. So we're hitting hammer curls. Now, actually, these are called pinwheel curls. If you don't know what pinwheel curls are, check out one of Matt Ogus's prep videos. I think it's Matt versus 2.0. He does these a good amount. And that's actually where I picked him up, from Matt Ogus. These are really good, again, for that long head of the bicep, and also the top of the forearm portion. And even with the bottom of your forearm being engaged, because you have to keep grip on the dumbbell as you're bringing it up in hammer position. So this is movement I've been liking a lot. As you see, only using 30s, and I've gone up to like 50s, but I'm just noticing, guys, lighter weight on arms, but still getting in more volume over time is really good for just concentrating on the muscle. Now, pushdowns right here is something that I haven't really been prioritizing too much, and I wish I did, because the lateral head is something that lacks a little bit on my triceps. That's the head that you see from the side when you flex your arms straight out, in case you didn't know that, guys. So I would highly recommend rope pushdowns, because when you bring them to the bottom, when you bring the rope down and you go outwards with it, you're hitting the lateral head directly, and that's really important. So all in all, guys, this is my arm day. These are some movements that I really enjoy on arm day, and the split can't talk. Sorry, guys. This split might seem a bit odd to you, but keep in mind I'm sort of screwing with my split right now. So I'm going to be changing it up this week. I've been talking to a good friend of mine, and he gave me some awesome ideas. So I'm going to probably try something new today, see how I like it, and then try a split that I really am looking forward to, and I will aware you guys of that in the future. So if you like this video, comment down below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram at nick.berg. And until the next one, guys, I'll see you then. Peace out.